This quick concept is going to be about position evaluation, which I'm defining here as an estimation of win probability. I'm not talking like I'm in this game and I estimate that at this point I have a 73% chance of winning. That's absurd. I don't even know how you would do that, but it's more a general feeling of, am I more likely to win this game? Call that ahead, or less likely to win this game? Call that behind. I don't know that I can really give a good reasoning, like, this is how I will evaluate my position. It's something I think that you more develop through, like, lots and lots of experience. You have a feeling for, are things going right? Are things going wrong? I mean, there's certain metrics, like, do I have more coins? Do I have more gains? Are my turns working better that are more visible? But like, you kind of have to see that a lot of times in order to know whether that represents like a temporary state of affairs or whether it's like a reflection of what the deck is doing. Especially as you get up into higher level Dominion, opposing general strategies are rare, so a lot of games, I'm not going to say like necessarily look close, but you're not going to be able to like win the game just because you're doing something better in the end. Like, differences do arise, like maybe you do something a little bit different early, maybe you get better luck early. These are things that can result in you being ahead. But eventually your opponent's probably going to be trying to do about the same thing you are. And so you basically have to have this interaction where you're managing out this game, depending on whether you feel like you're ahead or behind. If you're ahead, more likely to win, maybe you're at like a 70% win probability. You're going to be trying to push this up to 100. Like, what is in this 30%, that would make it so that I would be able to lose, this game? Is it that I have this possibility of dudding? Well, I need to add a little bit of consistency. Is it that my opponent will be able to, outproduce me? Surely I need to be adding a little bit more payload in that case. Is it that my opponent is like buying points and I might not be able to catch up? Yeah, I need to be buying points in that case. So it's like all of these things where you're just kind of game managing, like, what are these things that can go wrong? And what can I do to mitigate those, to try to push this up? Whereas when you're behind, it's very much more focused on the opponent. Like, when you're ahead, it's focused on me. When you're behind, you're a lot of focused on the opponent. Like, what is it that can happen to my opponent that would make it so that I have an opportunity to increase my probability of winning this game? Like, maybe I'm at 30%. Well, the first goal is like get that up to 50%, make it 50-50 or higher, before I can start, doing this game management. And so, you can look like, is my opponent only building up to 2 provinces? Like, if they stop at 2 provinces, can I make up enough points to do that if I keep building? Well, maybe. If my opponent is going to dud, do I have enough power to take advantage of that? Maybe I need to add a little bit more power, even if it, is going to make it so I'm a little bit more inconsistent, just so that I can, take advantage of things going wrong for my opponent. Maybe my opponent needs to dud like 3 times in a row in order for me to be able to win. It's not necessarily going to be a power thing in that case. It's going to be like, I need to then, if that happens, be able to have 3 turns that work in a row myself. So in that case, like, even being behind, the answer might be, I'm going to add a little bit of consistency. But it's really this, it's kind of the opposite. When I'm ahead, I'm trying to look at what could go wrong. When I'm behind, I'm trying to look at, what could go wrong but for my opponent and what can I do about that. And so these 2 different balances, when you're behind, it's much less about you, it's much more a response, is where it's important to know, am I going to win this game if everything goes right? Or am I going to lose this game if everything goes right for me and something needs to go wrong for my opponent? Respond to that.